Green MP Chlöe Swarbrick, she's a very dishonest politician by omission. Swarbrick is quick to backstab New Zealanders by supporting the Paris Agreement and the clandestine wealth transfer of billions of dollars to other countries. She's a major supporter of the oil and gas ban, which is causing seriously significant problems with rising costs, business closures, unemployment and homelessness for so many Kiwis. In essence, a total disregard for people she supposedly brags about caring for. Swarbrick also deliberately omits to state that there is absolutely nothing Kiwis can do that will have any effect whatsoever on the climate or the weather. She does the opposite, in fact. Swarbrick implies that the floods and storms will reduce or disappear altogether if we simply discontinue the use of fossil fuels. Swarbrick is grossly dishonest by omission. She wants your vote, so she deliberately leaves out the most important facts, data and evidence from her questions and speeches. These are facts that if you understood them, you would agree that, apart from current trade issues, New Zealand should walk away from the Paris Agreement because any action, good or bad, that New Zealand takes will have totally zero effect on the weather or climate. But such action will definitely cost the country a fortune in lost wealth. The following table lists the top 150 countries' emissions, ranked by a weighted score of 80% for absolute emissions and 20% for per capita emissions. The main global greenhouse gas emissions are also weighted. Carbon dioxide 75%, methane 16%, nitrous oxide 6%, and the balance of fluorinated gases around 3% are not included in the tables. Total greenhouse gas emissions are reported in megatons, while per capita emissions are measured in metric tons per person. A metric ton is 1,000 kilograms. Have a good look around the tables and you'll quickly observe that New Zealand can do absolutely nothing about climate change. Even the New Zealand Green Party should be able to observe that. Please review the greenhouse gas tables. New Zealand's Paris Agreement financial commitments. 1. Contributions to international climate finance. New Zealand has pledged to mobilise and contribute public climate finance under the Paris Agreement, supporting developing countries' mitigation and adaptation efforts for the sum of $300 million for the years 2021 to 2025. These funds go to outlets like the Green Climate Fund and bilateral programmes with a focus on Pacific Islands and Southeast Asia. 2. Reporting and transparency costs. Under the Paris Agreement's enhanced transparency framework, New Zealand incurs ongoing costs to measure, report and verify greenhouse gases. This is approximately $5 to $8 million per year. It should be noted, however, that New Zealand faces no automatic fines or financial penalties under the Paris Agreement itself if it fails to hit its emissions targets. The accord relies on voluntary nationally determined contributions, transparency and peer pressure, rather than sanctions or levies for non-performance. Other than for trade purposes at the present time, there is no reason for New Zealand to stay in the Paris Agreement. The data, evidence and facts speak for themselves. The Green Party love data, evidence and facts, so why are they deliberately ignoring them? Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.